Today I fucked up by taking a drug test like I was still in the military. So this happened today, and I still can't stop cringing. I had to take a pre-employment drug test for a new job. No big deal, I've done dozens of these during my time in the military. If you know, you know. The military way is full send, no shame, pants and undies around the knees, standing there like you're about to get hazed, while some poor soul stares directly at your junk to verify you're not faking it. Anyway, I show up to the testing facility, sign in, get called back, and the guy hands me the cup and leads me to the bathroom. I just go into autopilot mode. Drop true, pull down my underwear, start doing my thing, totally exposed. That's when I hear the guy's voice through the door. Sir, I don't have to watch you pee. I just have to stand outside the stall. Cue me realizing I am full on pants down in a civilian bathroom like I'm back in basic training, even though no one is watching. Just standing there, exposed for absolutely no reason, like an idiot. I quickly finished, cleaned up what little pride I had left, and shuffled out of the bathroom like a dog that knocked over a vase. The guy didn't say anything afterward, but I swear he had that look in his eyes like he'd just witnessed something both confusing and mildly traumatic. So yeah, today I fucked up by forgetting I'm not in the military anymore, and accidentally giving a solo performance in the drug test bathroom. Too long did not read. Did a drug test like I was still in the military. Dropped my pants fully expecting an observer, but turns out civilians don't need to see the stream. Now a random guy at a clinic knows way too much about me. My first test after I got out, the lady handed me the cup and gave me directions. I asked her if she had to go in with me and watch the stream coming out. She laughed and said, "Oh no honey, I don't get paid enough for that." She understood when I told her I had just gotten out and was used to being watched. I drank so much water prior to that because I'm a shy Pierre and expected it to take me a long time to go. Should a joke? Does this look infected? I loved doing that while in skull and crossbones rolling on the floor laughing. You know you're going to be a story at home tonight. He's telling his significant other about the dude that showed his junk out of nowhere. I miss the good old days. However, being a meat gazer was the worst detail. Retired military here, the correct response would have been, I was in the military, it worked for me. Tears of joy. Nah, he knew what you were doing, dog. He was clear about it. You are not the first vet to get drug tested fresh out of the harness. And you're not the first one he has had to remind. You're good, and thanks for your service, bro. Today I fucked up by accidentally teaching my son. It must have been the wind. Kinda more like today I realized I fucked up to be honest, but hey ho. My son is 2 years old, and for the longest time when something unexplainable happened like a broom just casually falling over, a car horn in the distance, or even just someone tripping, me and my wife would joke that, oh, it must have been the wind. There's been no malice in it, if anything we'd laugh about it. Today my son is currently refusing to go outside at all because of the wind. All his favorite things are outside, but nothing is working to convince him to go. I honestly wish I was joking cause this is pretty funny, but this is honestly probably gonna cause some issues when school rolled around. We also live on a coastal island in the UK, so it's windy almost all year round. Anyways, hopefully someone else can learn from my mistake and not become a Elder Scrolls NPC and somehow scar their children. Too long did not read. Taught my son it must have been the wind when unexplainable things happen, and now he's afraid of the wind. Get them a kite to fly around. That way they'll want there to be wind. Yup, you really effed up. Tears of joy kept adding fuel to the fire till it finally became uncontrollable. Totally get it. I'm broken hearted. I was fully expecting a fart joke. Don't ever let him watch the happening. Darn, I thought this would end with, oh, ma mère, c'est le vent. My mom used to tell me a story, maybe a song she'd learned as a child, about a mom who would comfort her daughter by telling her the noises were just the wind, c'est le vent. The daughter grows into a young woman, and one evening comes home with her hair mussed and clothes askew. Her mom, shocked, asked what she'd been doing. The young woman giggles and replies, oh ma mère, c'est le vent. Oops, now your kid thinks wind's a sneaky supervillain. Time to pivot to magic fairies, less terrifying, equally unexplainable. Wind face cold sweat smile. Today I fucked up by accidentally reading Harry Potter in the wrong order. Obviously not in one day but over some time. Had talked with a friend about book series he had read growing up, and he had mentioned both Chronicles of Narnia and Harry Potter as his favorites. He had said that one of the series you read in a weird order. 2, 4, 5, 6, 3, 1, 7. For whatever reason, the numbers I remembered but misapplied to the wrong series, so I started with Chamber of Secrets and didn't read the Sorcerer's Stone until very late. I started to suspect I had made a mistake as I was nearing the end of Stone. When I told him I had read the series but didn't understand why I had to read in that order, he was flabbergasted and perhaps a little annoyed I didn't pay more attention to him. TL. Doctor misremembered something a friend said. Read Harry Potter in an interesting order. I have read Lord of the Rings as 231. It was translated newly during that time. I read about it on a newspaper and got so excited and asked my father to buy it. This is like 32 years ago. He bought the second book without knowing it was a series, and I was so excited and started reading right away, without noticing. Page 1. Boromir is dead. Me. Who the hell is Boromir? Do you always follow orders without questioning them? 'Cause if so, I might have an extremely unethical job for you. It was indeed the Chronicles of Narnia. After publishing several books, C.S. Lewis wrote a prequel, which is first in the series' internal chronology, but the series should still be read in publishing order. I don't know the reason for the other changes in the order, though. A more famous example is the 3 Star Wars trilogies. If it makes you feel any better, my school library had one copy of the first book that I could never get my hands on, so I read the series 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. It was a little confusing, but not too bad. My mother has never read a book series in order. She just grabs whatever book by whatever author she likes and never checks. She gets really confused for 10 years, then she'll accidentally grab the book before and it finally makes sense. I legitimately did this as a kid because I didn't realize it was a series when I grabbed HP for the first time. So I read 2 first, but wanted to keep going, so I did 3, 4, then had to wait for the 5th, so finally read 1, then 5, 6, 7 as they came out. 1 was quite slow after having already read 3 past Cold Sweat Smile. Today I fucked up ringing the doorbell too many times. I broke up with my girlfriend a couple of days ago. Heartbroken, me decided to show up at my sister's house, announced for emotional support. I rang the doorbell several times, but no one was answering, which made no sense because my sister's car was parked in the driveway next to her husband's car, meaning the two of them were home. Were they sleeping? Unlikely, unless both of them needed an afternoon nap. I called my sister on my phone. No answer. I called her husband. Also no answer. If I was not sad as fuck and feeling sorry for myself, I probably would have just left, but I needed an emotionally mature shoulder to cry on. So I rang the doorbell several more times until the front door unexpectedly swung open, revealing my visibly pregnant and pissed off sister standing in the doorway in her nightgown, looking like she got spit out of a tumble dryer. My sister skipped the, "Hello little brother," and jumped straight into the, "Bro, what the fuck?" There was no gap for me to respond because she was already monologuing. She explained to me in the most passive-aggressive tone possible that she was in the middle of fucking her husband, which was apparently rare, because her libido hit rock bottom, so when her sex drive somehow skyrocketed during that day, she got to enjoy having sex again, until she heard me ringing the doorbell 10,000 times. She made it very clear to me that between the 200th and the 400th time I repeatedly rang the doorbell, she was on the verge of having her first orgasm since her unborn baby cursed her with a non-existent sex drive. However, my urgent need for attention robbed her of experiencing what might have been her last orgasm before childbirth. I was speechless because I literally have never heard my prim and proper sister talk about sex, like, at all. My sister's husband appeared and interrupted her monologue to tell her that she was beginning to raise her voice. My sister looked at her husband confused and asked him why did he not complain earlier when she raised her voice to compliment his cock. I knew I had to tap out at that moment, so I made my sister understand that I was sorry for disturbing before handing her a baby beanie I was planning to give her at the end of our breakup conversation that never happened. She non-stop cried as soon as she took the beanie from me, which prompted the husband to comfort her while thanking me for the beanie and telling me to come back when my sister was feeling better. I awkwardly said goodbye and left. TL. Doctor went to my sister's house for emotional support after my breakup. Unleashed a hailstorm of hate after my sister opened the front door to yell at me for interrupting sex, which she no longer gets to experience that often because of her low libido due to her pregnancy. Sometimes the emotional support you need is not worth the emotional trauma you get. Unless both of them needed an afternoon nap. Tears of joy, bro, get a clue. This is why you check with people before just showing up. The fuck? Tears of joy, you deserve that. Dude, pregnancy makes people emotionally unstable, like seriously unstable, and you want to go trauma dump on her? This was gonna be a huge food disaster either which way. Reminds me of my first job, late '99. I was laboring for a kitchen fitter and he always picked me up in the morning from the bus stop outside my house. One morning he was late, so I tried phoning him a couple of times, no answer. So I kept phoning him. He finally answered and told me his heavily pregnant wife was wanting some that morning and my phone was annoying as fuck, rolling on the floor laughing. I didn't call him when he was late again. Live and learn op. Yeah, you probably deserved that one because showing up unannounced and spamming the doorbell, let alone the pregnancy aspect. You weren't in your right mind and she's obviously going through a lot of her own stuff right now too. Definite foo, and probably should try to avoid dumping too much emotional baggage on her at this time. YMMV depending on personal circumstances, but I'd reach out in a few days, once you've had a bit more time yourself, and she has as well, and explain you had a breakup and weren't in your right mind. Maybe ask her out for lunch or something. It should be fine.